We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the New York Jets and the Washington Commanders. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be fielded inside the 5. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. So that a nightmarish start to a football game as they give the ball away on the opening kickoff.
And they put their defense in a bind right away. They have to go into protect mode.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Quickly to the air is Wilson. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
To try again after the sack, Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. To throw is Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jamin Davis. Accelerating, and off he goes. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. But turnovers, obviously, Charles, always costly. But, man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Powell, 3rd and goal. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Curtis Samuel, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Commanders use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run with Hall. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Field goal unit and Brian Johnson out there. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. Johnson's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything is working pretty well. For the defensive
guy, what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
He was trying to get it to Denzel Mims that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
On second down, a run with Hall. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On 3rd down, here's Hall. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it?
I mean, touchdown, Washington! Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and he never gets stopped so soundly during his series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter as they've got it second down and 12. Now Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilson. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
It appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. This is taken at about the 14. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. Faking the handoff, Howell. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Oh, able to avoid him. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Gibson here running out of the gun.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Second down, Howell back to pass. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to have it here at their own 15. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Rhodes. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
And if we turn to the next-gen stats, the final clocking, well, it's ridiculous. 22.5 miles an hour. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one. But whatever they called on defense, they made sure they were ready for the pass on that snap, made the proper adjustments, and helped force an incompletion.
To throw again on second down. Howell, and he will find his man Samuel. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Howell to the air on 1st and 10. He's going deep for Brown. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you put in this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. All again on second down. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 92 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They go play action with Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Rhodes. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays, because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Straight ahead is Hall. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Play action. Now Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Montez Sweat, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
Johnson's kick is good, and the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh,
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now throwing on first down here. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ashtyn Davis. And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top.
As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this 2nd half.
Now this will be a return from deep in the end zone.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Wilson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
That's taken it around the 40. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards.
And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Give up the middle to Gibson.
And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it.
A quick throw, but incomplete.
But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
Howell down to throw it.
Escaping the pressure right. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. And that is no good. No good. Wide to the left. And this is going to remain a 1-point game. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Now Hall to start the drive. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Garrett Wilson
40 yards.
And the Jets have taken the lead here in this third quarter.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. They'll try and run it up the middle. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the one. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the two-point attempt is turned aside.
Here's Johnson set and ready to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Yeah, they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here.
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A first down and then some. 36 yards.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
First down, Howell to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. But it's going to be 2nd down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
On 2nd and 10.
Howell. Out left to Dotson.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 32-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And they go play action with Howell.
And my goodness, another interception. There he goes right side. Past the 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown.
So what a turn of events there. You're driving to take the lead in this third quarter, but then one mistake, and you're watching the ball being returned for a touchdown.
Certainly a great example of how focus has to be there on every play, doesn't it, partner? You can't get complacent, and I think that he did. He's got him moving downfield, but that's a play where he just shouldn't have thrown the football. And ultimately could wind up costing them the ball game.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Off play action. It's Howell. He's going to try and go deep again. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's going to get this down inside the 5 before he's out of bounds. A huge play there for Washington. 49 yards. And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts. They'll go play action. Howell. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Echols. And the Jets are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. That pass complete to Moore. Finding space at the 40. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Here we go. Set.
Now Wilson on first down. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Okay.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
I said it. Let's go.
They go play action now. Wilson. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Commanders are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And this is back to a 5-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Wilson's throw complete there to Johnson.
And he's got room. Again, powerful running. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now Wilson.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now it's Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Rhodes. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jets on third down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here we go. Alpha.
4th down. Here's Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
This carry, despite the extra effort, will be stopped short of the 10. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Howell.
Got his target, Samuel.
And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
On second down, they'll run it here. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Howell, 3rd and goal. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown.
Curtis Samuel, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game.
And the Commanders have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. A late turnover is so often the difference in a ball game, and here the turnover leads to the go-ahead touchdown.
So repeat after me, partner. You have to take care of the football. In order to protect a lead, you must take care of the football. Ball security. How many times do they have to say it? They've been preaching it since day 1 of camp, and it came back to bite them right there.
Howell throwing for it.
And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the 4th.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. From the 6. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
One back in the back. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They'll run with Robinson.
A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
Robinson again. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Commanders get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This one taken just inside the 10.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And they're going to have terrific field position as they finally get to him, but just shy of the midfield stripe.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Play action. Now Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Rhodes. Big yardage that time for the Jets. And even 50 yards.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
They'll run with Hall.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Breece Hall. That's rushing touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Jets have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the fourth. So part one of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
They'll try and run it in. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the fourth. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Powell.
And he fires one incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
And Howe will throw it.
Dancing to his left. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Taking it about the 36. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground. Hall.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
Set, play, clock strike.
Now Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Wilson.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. But right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
On first down, right back to Hall.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40.
103 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
They'll go again with Hall.
And he gets it down to the 32.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Hall want to give up the middle.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A handoff for Hall.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches.
Here's a give to Hall.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. You've got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game.
This game rests on the right leg of Brian Johnson.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is good. He knocks through his 3rd field goal of the game, and this one is the one that decides it. And the Jets are going to win the football game.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Jets, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll get another road date next week as they're